Welcome back. So in this session, we are going to export the data from the database that is residing on the EC2 instance, and then we'll establish a connection to the new database that is our RDS instance. But first, let's confirm the status of the database that is on our EC2 instance. So we'll do service MariaDB and status, and if for nothing at all, we can just see here that it is active and running since, and then the date that it's running, right? So it's been running for 35 minutes ago. And we'll now check the SQL version. So we'll do MySQL -- version. So this gives us a high level overview of the version of the SQL that we are running, and as well as the distribution. Now I'll clear this screen now that we are clear on our database and its status. What we are going to do next is to go to the sessions or the systems manager, and from here under the application manager we'll go to the parameter store, right? So if you also remember, for the previous challenge lab or for the previous lab exercise that we did on creating a dynamic website, you realize that there were some parameters that were stored here in the parameter store, and these are parameters that the EC2 instance assumes an IAM role to access it to serve as on the Caffe application, right? So here we'll need some credentials here, and then you know what it is. Also, we'll open the CaffeDB password and we'll copy this value because we'll need this value in a minute. So once this is copied, I'll come back to my sessions manager, and I'll now connect to the MariaDB on the EC2 instance. So I'll type MySQL u root and p. I've explained this command before, but just for a refresher, this is just saying that connect to the database service, right, using the root user, and prompt me for a password. So I'll press enter, and for the password I'll paste the value that I copied. You will not see the password here, but don't also make a mistake on pasting it more than once. You just press enter. Once you don't receive any error, it means that it worked, and you can see that the database has been opened. The database distribution has been opened, and this is what a MariaDB database. Great. So here we are going to observe the database and what we have in the MariaDB database. So what I will do is I'll enter show databases, and SQL commands, or sorry, SQL queries ends with a semicolon. So we have the CaffeDB, we have the information schema and other database, but our interest is in the CaffeDB, right? So we'll do use Caffe_DB semicolon, and then we'll press enter, and you can see that the database has been changed. So the focus is now on the CaffeDB, and I can now show tables, and we can see the tables that we have in the CaffeDB. We can now do a select all from order. So I've explained in other lab exercise that this star command is for all, right, depending on the use case that you are using it. I'll have to remove this mark there, right? So this is our command to select all entries or all records from the order table. So I'll press enter, and you can see all the orders that we have. So to confirm this, let's look at our order history. So you can see the very recent one, that is order 25, is what, $3, and the one that comes before it is what, $35, and then we have 6, 33 and above. Okay, so if you go to our Caffe and then the order history, you can see the most recent one is $3, right? And then the other one that precedes it is what, $35. The next one is $6, and it follows that order till the very first one, which is $20. If we go to our sessions manager, we'll see the same thing here. So that confirms that we are in the right database and the data syncs correctly. So the next thing we can also go to, we can also do further queries. We can do a select all, and then from the order_item. We end it with a semicolon. So what we are saying is that you should select all records from the order item table, Okay, so press enter, and what this table does is it gives us a breakdown of the order numbers, the order item number, the product ID, the quantity that was ordered for each item. So this is like a breakdown of each order number and the item or the quantity that was ordered for each item, as well as the amount. So that is just a sneak peek into our database that is residing on our EC2 instance. So let me clear my screen and we'll get into the next task. And this won't work because we are still in the MariaDB environment. So what we'll do is we'll now have to exit and clear the screen now, and we are good to go. So what we are going to do next is to export the existing data into a file, and we'll use a utility called MySQL dump utility or MySQL dump utility. So what I'll do is I'll just do my SQL dump and query from the databases and use the cafe underscore db database. The user is root, prompt me for a password, and after I enter the password, export that data to cafe db dump.sql or SQL. So I'll press enter, and for the password, you remember is this password. So I'll copy this again and paste it here and press enter. Since I didn't get any error, it means the command was successful. So I will do ls to see, and you can see this is our file. So now what we have done is we have exported our database onto a file called cafe db dump.sql, right? So what we are going to do next is to now import that file into our RDS instance. But I'll end the video here and we'll continue that section in the next video. So see you.